Gotta get this set up here. There we go. So I asked Joe about what he thinks the worst stuff that humanity has to contend with. He seems to be talking about people needing to be more moral and having good intentions. Meanwhile, I think that the intentions themselves are complicated things that we produce with our brain and our DNA and our soul and everything like that. And those forces that we have, they're not easily created or changed. I think that it has a lot to do with how reality is set up, like how you'll feel. If we didn't have air, we wouldn't be breathing, so, or if we didn't have a certain type of energy, we wouldn't have thoughts, or things like that. And if I had to make a bet, I would bet that it's true that if you were put in a different planet, you'd have different energy, you'd have different thoughts, you'd have different feelings. Everything would be different there. So this is about causation. Like if you want a good change, that's causation. If you're doing a bad change, that's also causation. People want to have an influence on their environment, and it doesn't really matter who they are, but like they could be a negative influence, they could be a positive influence, but they want to be an influence anyways. It has to do with, as far as I know, the person wanting influence has to do with the person who is willful and they feel like they need things, and it's a difficult subject. I can see why some people give up on the subject. But we can't. Giving up is like it's almost like dying. Letting go of something that was really important. Giving up is just, it's not that good of an idea. But philosophically, that's what happens when you narrow down your what's it called? When you narrow down possibility too much, you get very simple, depressing thoughts. And that's another issue humanity has, I've seen. There's some other things I'd like to say later, but this is it for now.